because my boss had given me some crazy little silly appraisal score, having caused me to train one of the new project managers in the team. And that woman got a better appraisal score than me. How would I know? I happened upon the appraisals on her desk one day when I was walking past them. I didn't plan to. I wanted to get tissue from a colleague's desk. I wanted to get tissue from a colleague's desk. And I just so happened to glaze upon the appraisals that were chilling on her desk. And the uppermost one was of the chick that I trained. And her score was higher than mine. Couldn't help but look at the rest. And everybody had done better than me. I'm like, really? You make me train a woman, and then you give her a better appraisal score than me? You are making me look like the most underperforming employee of yours. Yeah. New recruit. Y'all know those kinds of bosses. If I am going to endure that level of insanity, after speaking about humility the past couple of days, if I'm going to endure that level of insanity again just for the sake of having a job and hunkering down, I don't want to be patronized by that silly boss being a family member. I literally do not want that to be a family member. That kind of rubbish. I took it to God. I prayed. That boss, I prayed. Psalm 37. Do you think God did not hear my prayer back then? Under that kind of leadership. But this time in a family member. Yes, like guys, there is something that my cousins are trusting. The dreams I am getting, that the way it is that they are acting in that they have tethered me. But I feel confident. Don't I something about feeling confidence? There is something about tepiling. We understand that one is not to lean on nothing but ditoro. Mara, ditoro takanna, they come to pass, and on top of that, they're warning. They're prophetic. There is something that my cousins, especially the cousin, the ones that are my age group, yeah, I keep getting dreams where by controller every facet of my life. One dream, a cousin of mine, the little sister of the other mongrel beast that keeps on monitoring me. My religion. I ended up being like Kelly Kumalo. Y'all know Kelly Kumalo, right? Kelly Kumalo, South Africans. Those of you who are not South Africans, is a musician in this country. And she is I don't know if Otwa sees it, but she is definitely into ancestral worship, but she mixes it with Christianity to a point where she sings gospel music on stage wearing underwear. Wearing like, what do they call this? Like a swimming costume like Beyonce. She will sing a gospel track in like swimwear on stage. That's Kelly Kumalo. Yeah. In my dream, I was busy following the tutelage of Kelly Kumalo. And I understood that to be the causal inspiration into my bones by this cousin. Tethering me, ascertaining that I follow in the footsteps of Kelly Kumalo. First and foremost, Kelly Kumalo needs to follow in my footsteps, okay? Because if the woman wants to be truly a servant of God, she needs to put some clothes on. She needs to abandon ancestral worship and then be an ambassador for Christ only. Otherwise, nobody trusts her in the kingdom of heaven. Because she's not a true convert to Christianity. On the day Kelly abandons ancestors and the swimming costume on stage, and then maybe only just starts to sing gospel music, maybe we'll take her seriously. But for now, she's just another person in Jaffa that's mixing Jesus like any other South African with their own preferred spirituality. And here it is that I've got a cousin family member thinking that why would they have that brazenness? Something is making them feeling that they still have control over me. Something is making them feel like they got this, where I am concerned. And for me, it's like the only thing that can give them that level of bravery is if they trust somebody to handle me. Is if they imagine they've got a handler, someone that calls them or that talks to them or that they feel comfortable is going to nicely keep me in check. So what do I do? All night, Karabela, guys. And from the Karabela, Busuka Fela. Kita shabela super girl, kita shabela some video on YouTube and only sleep when I'm feeling comfortable. 5:30, 6 in the morning. And for the past 3 mornings, I've been waking up on some kore garden tongues. I'm wasting time just like I'm still in a fast. I was supposed to stop my fast on the 20th on the 19th, of August. I have decided to take it to the 30th. It's currently the 28th of August. The reason I'm in a fast is because I want to get rid of ntoeng threatening. There's something that's chilling on my chest that has made it impossible for me to actually stop fasting. To successfully stop fasting. I'm fully stop if fast. Lady 30th August since a breakthrough. And crash up, I feel as if though this fasting is what has caused this person to delay the process of my employment at her organization. Why delay? And to do that because I don't think God I want to go there. I don't trust her. But wako heso hai bane ba tlo tshepa magetla a mosadi yona. Nna he yena ke motshepe. Cause I ke ba tshepe batho wako heso. Ba busy ba ngabela dikoloi ke lipiketsa message. I'm not. I don't trust them. I do not trust them from a bar soap. I spoke the other day about how it is that they look at me as a flight risk. And I said I would never flee if I don't have a reason to. I would never run away if I don't have a reason to. But you see, it's about control, ownership and control. Ukudelelwa nje, disrespect of my adulthood. Disregard. Ko MTN, banteletse wankutwa. Sarure hurre. Bantella ba tlogela bua le nna ba bua le mme wa ka. Nka re nna ke ngwana ko crèche. O leng unruly. You gotta go through mom. O fitla sekolong one day mme wa ha o fitlile ko officing wa bitswa ka intercom. Principal is like, Karabo, come to the office. Next thing your mom is there and they're discussing you in front of them, talking about you like you're not in the room. That's how it's been for me for the past decade. I get spoken to and about and I'm not in the room. In and of myself, you know how kids get gossiped and spoken about, smack about, and for like anything. The child is in the room and adults are talking about how Maratepo is in like it's getting. Kimozamme Marawiti. How am I busy high school? The other day, Gimotoza Alekomara one two. I think I get to the Maranikin and Kinikutan Mzolo. Nengarigimante Marazanka tola Kiflanka way parties. Kanakoting Tepo is either in the room or Okukamranga high and can overhear everything the parents are saying. He can overhear everything. That kind of stuff happens with children, y'all. Kids that are kind of wayward, but you leng. Hey Marakarabo Naketsburkiting. Nothing works, but the intervention ga di sebetse ga ke sa tsebore ke ketseng wetsi malume ngwana nna mara ha e bathong a ke kopa le tlhobogeng ngwana o nang tlhobogeng ngwana o ke filang ka rena ko molahla ko mo disown the way anta tsola pele ka teng o tlo buiwa jwalo o le teng ko kamoreng o le teng ko dining room ko lounge or at least o le ko kamoreng la ntse monyako o kwetswe wa utlwa everything. Why Zoro Seba was wrong when you're a teenager? Gunzima guys, Futu ya Sabu to Zo Shambokwa, Uzo Tumpo Zo Trapa Levanta, anything. You are scared that you're gonna get beaten or towards the fella. Like Adam skips and is shaking. Cause everybody's talking about you like you're the baddest criminal in South Africa. Mara that time Tapoteng only 29. Tapoteng only 27. Tapoteng is a whole 30-year-old man, can't it? Otobu Tapoling Hun Moto only 16. Yeah, that's been my life. 10 years. Of your rubbish and the disquieting thing about my situation as well is that angihlebwa mina kabuhlungu kanje nangabazali or abadala nje kuphela ngihlebwa these days ngamakhazi, basically my peers. Yo guys, disrespect na. Yo peers, like di cherry tse le di out ke khudlele tsona di babunu tse ke khudlele tsona la nkutlo di peretse tse senang maitseo tse latlhegetsweng ke manto, so basically they're as good as put it down. Ngikhule nabo abanye meng bashaya esikolweni, crash up, not abanye bonke meng bashaya esikolweni. Ngikuyimi academic ever. I was responsible. Crash up yibo abazali babo, some of them would come to githi bangibuza ukuthi umntana muhwe. I had a cousin ndakwathe ngike hake afika. I remember ngiborele jwang that day nelibusiu ka 9 or 9:30 or whatever. Ellie McBeal. It was my favorite show. I tuned in every single Monday without a fail. I didn't miss it for a thing. Ellie McBeal, up and down this road, walking the ride. I was in the middle of Ellie McBeal. Ellie McBeal Lankudra. And that was before, it was in the days of programmed television. If you miss a spot, you miss a spot. You go to the bathroom, ka commercial, ka advert. Otherwise you are gonna miss out. No pausing, no Netflix, no video on demand. Just, you better catch it on time. And there's no repeats for some shows. Ellie McBeal was one of those no repeats. If at all you miss 5 seconds, what happened? What did Ellie do? What did Richard do? What did Richard say? What did Ling say? Yeah, I used to love Ellie McBeal. I loved it. And it was in the middle of Ellie McBeal. And that was in Johannesburg. Fika ko yeso tira malume ba thongwetsang monana. Mme wa ka ke antse go Karabo ke ka tsamaya le malume motho ke o hae wa fika gae ka weekend. Weekend ka ofela e fitile ha fa tla gae jwanong ke Monday ina tshwantsa ye sekolong hae. So now the dad, because I was best friends with the stupid woman, went and fetched me ko yeso ke shebetse Ellie McBeal hole monate. I had to go and miss the last 30 minutes of Ellie McBeal. Cause netshwantsa rona re yo ko sprayed view ko boyfriend ya cousin mo a dulang teng holo mo botsa gore anare why o habarile ngwana wa ntatomo. The boyfriend like if he took on I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I was so embarrassed. But like the dad asked me to basically bring you here because his daughter has not been home Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday now. And the dad is wondering ukuthi idota iwe. The dude was like, I don't know what you're talking about, Karabo. In and of himself, he was a teenage boy, well, 19. In and of himself, he was like, Angazi Baba, I'm sorry, namangamboni weekend yonke. So basically here it is that this derelict chick, ke latilwe nako heso, ke shebetse Elimik Bill on a school night. Kalo driver all the way to Spread View, where some 19-year-old boy who also stayed with his parents was not sure where his girlfriend is at. And then I went back and then driven back home. The intervention that was staged now against this chick, and unabu was running as sebi wa ke batswadi hore motho o tswiletsele o tswa kae wa o sa tla hae kana kwa teng motho teng o tshwana le nna o na le 15 motho teng at the same time she's like me, she's also 15 years old mara ha ro bala gae 4 days ha ro bala gae ntato teng wa mmata all over the show boyfriend ha itse boroko kae nna however as Karabo responsible academic esikolweni. The biggest infringement that she achieves is being late by 5 minutes every day. Udlalo got detention because very late 5 minutes, but really that's the most that Karabo is doing in these streets. Now I am trusted to be home because that girl, I get the inside of a nightclub. Mara, this chickie is my best friend. So seeing as she's my best friend, obviously boyfriend that thing like I. And frankly, I wouldn't have even known or boyfriend that thing do like I if I did not for one holiday season. And then we got to see where he stays. That was the only reason I would have known. Otherwise, I never get to this guy like I. All the way to the East End. Some derelict, wayward child. A certain way. So the cousin is people that historically who stage you the interventions concerning Karabo Elimik Bill to basically navigate in that spread view. The trustworthy one. These days, the same woman, the same cousin, the same cousin who 15. The autista thing is already said about Jikai. Namar, Kasebi was graduated past the age of 18. I'm beyond 18 years of age. Has I kiss soka naki sotra moka kimosoko disakabashima know anything of that nature. Kehol. Haleke ba like kana skolo kisa lo fikisa banki. Haleke responsible lankut. And these cousins of mine bad favor. The autista literature that then get favor. Who na olonota bora goody two shoes. People with that kind of knowledge of me. Now that ke lahlehetswe ke mosebetsi nna se ke sebwa ke bona cherry to e sa eng hae o na le 15 fela le out ya teng e sa tsebo go kae ke a sebwa ka je go kwena le di cousins tse ding se ngiyakhulunywa manje ngalabantu guys ngalabantu dudes I'm the derelict, I'm the one nang le di issue boyfriend that teng e sa tsebo go kae. I am the one. Like the way that people keep talking about me, it's like I am some miscreant, derelict kid that can't stay home. All do like to be like patchy, ale high, ale blaze, matloga ale red, bloodshot, cause hi. Man that way. Yo, guys, I can't. Yeah, okay, I've charged my phone. Yes, I was saying, y'all know what it's like to work for that boss that you can't ever do anything right in the eyes of. I've got these cousins that Skule Sonke were the same age, peers, give or take, couple of years younger, couple of years older. Okay, on the come up, we're all either late Gen X or millennials. Okay, and they thoroughly think that they can treat me like I'm a teenager among them. That's unruly usuleng. Some of whom have got these like horrible rap sheets when they were on the come up. Yibo, that parents were forever staging interventions concerning. Angaza mina stage even a single intervention as a kid on the come up. Kotwa laba, littered across these streets like cadavers strewn on the floor after a multi-car vehicle pile-up on the highway. Yeah, have been getting dealt those kinds of staged intervention bad blows. Harukhur. Evidence became clear. It was stark, it manifested later on in life. Who here was the one or two kids that were not constantly being staged interventions on behalf of Onabora, Harehola? It became clear because she became successful. I did well. Basically, it paid off to be a good kid on the come up. And then sabotage happens from here to Timbuktu, Karabo, all different kinds of things. My name gets reviled, dragged through the mud, following which, then, thanks to, listen to this, unemployment. Thanks to me losing a job, I I then get treated ingati I am some child on behalf of which kwamele ku stage intervention. Kutlema ukuthi mina ngina lubuatla. Bari nakena lubuatla. Lazy. Yo. Kaze why would I go mina njo adopta? Utswafa. Sengidala kangaka. Mina 30 yonke ephelele bese ngizodecide ukuthi ngizotswafa all over random Sunday. Mengatswafi in high school. Ngisatswafi in the beginning of my career ko varsity. Azanka tswafa. Mara one day nje fela ka tsogela ko tswafa. They called me lazy. And now they're the grown-ups now in the family, right? Ke badala sebanabantwana babo now. They've got their own children sebanabantwana babo now. They've got their own children. So instead of focusing on Barababona, in whose lives they must stage interventions, in whose lives they must snatch out the marijuana stick from their lips. That are busy fornicating at the age of 17. Evil mind that need to go and deal with their kids the way that our parents dealt with us when we were out of line. But instead of focusing on a person on a 40. They are focusing on a person that is 40 years old. Go to Grand Shop to be dealt a black blog and Funganjana. Go to Engway at Sofetzing and live 40. A 40-year-old spinster, and they are still out here calling me something is Chancellor Handler. Chancellor right near Guaras Betlin. Chancellor Risa Stefantina to Rietsi. Runat Evatun. Controlling Gaga in Bantunizo Portagafunga Bill. Little Tokafal Lotokafal. Like people, y'all need to stop doing this like witchcraft. Chancellor Bonahorona Lebo Tataman. Even in Bogoti, Habutu Hampe, Gadita. Halibon Lasang. Hadi to be the Matekona Satan. Halibon Horona is something very severely wrong with grabbing Ikaziako in Tangayanko Yako. Nawe. Nikulen Nonke. Same age. Hey? And then go treat that person in Gato Uzalwe from Mpayaha. Oto Tita Moto. Oiling Takaya High. Ngaro Umutwet. Hebato. Oto Tita a whole grown woman, guys. Yes, Uksanga no go to Tayo like Angwai. Akihon, Nimi I can't. Ukdila, no shame. Akihon. I can't deal. That's the problem with witchcraft. All this competition between peers. Beso Uzo Tata Omuntolingana Nawe. Give or take, Nyazulana my age, maybe 2-3 years. Older or young. My bottom line is, she's a Gen Z, you're a Gen Z. Or she's a Gen X, you're a Gen X. She's a millennial, you're a millennial. You're in the same generation. Or hampi, Jaka house Hlongwane how monelang hampi. Fitanga 25 years ka fela. Mara weekendse, cherry, enyani, jeka ngwana wale munyane cause awatlo they are treating me the way that a narcissistic mother would treat their girl children. Competing to the point of sabotage. Yazin go on, little sabotage as much as Lebatla or sabotage hakating. Marana Ibaniki to follow go cooperating. Kinfiguru to go to Longi Tebeleta Tata, and the Bosaka in Titan Nankara gets the next. Company Abamoto Samotsibingo is one good. Hatri, better the devil you know than the one that you don't know. Mara in this instance, better the devil I don't know than the one that I do know. Hakoso Dwana Jaka Haki Sutlugi Bosses Ahal. That's 2005, 6, 7, 8. Since I get Karayaka, Kokopus Africa, Hakoso Dwa, Kiba Tobacco Hair, so the way Sutlugi Boss Kihol. Nkampanika Hukela back to Boss Entenang, Enketangoragele on top of Sam 37. Because Mudimu Anketa so Sleham Sariona. Maragel Huana Lingino Tranco family in Highlands and Tabalina. Hago Tuka Kanaka to give to Baku Lingabana. Kidale Chicago de Mukusha Compana Licherize, Hebatu. At some point, Neo Vesical Felamon Petong Marona Richikela Tabakamang out of the three of your bar rotating pet. Richiki Waratumpu a trap Waka Fela because Richila Zilla after came at Chicago. Make it all to Tazwalo. Get D. Tiggins, Ebaton Lantel. Na proper. And I told you that story sa cousin niya gani. Ratleng boyfriend dating ko sprayed view. Hore re tlo tlhaloganya gore ne le mang. O ne batswadi ba ntse ba le busy ba lla ka ena. Ha re gole. Mara ka jeko nna ke a sebwa ke the same people. Peers lankutwa. That's what you'll get into. Hallelujah. My own peers and my cousins. Ditakatsaka. Millennials just as I am a millennial. Gen X, we're Xennials. Let apart. Older millennials, that's what's good. Kitelwa ke bona bao re dithaka re ka gura same fight go be le fair fight mara ba tlo kena in a fair fight le nna cause ba tse bore ke tlo ba trapa. That's what's good. Khale ke ba trapa warning. I did well on the come up cause ne le nna o itlhekileng ne le nna o sa banking skolo ne ile nna wa go rata dibuka. I was the one that was never rocking up ko mosebetsing ke tshwere ira ke babalaze ora ha ke kene ka Monday because ke tshwere ke babalaze. I was never that girl. I was never the one wa go ba irresponsible, guys. Never. Literally, that was never me. Maka na sa tsebo grandship what she had in the daughter. Una sang na sang appreciate. My mom didn't appreciate what she had in the daughter. He bathong batswadi ba sotlega ka montle ka mo ke bana ba banyana ba busy ntse ba le all over the show. Di track mate ha ba khone go itshwara. Wa nkutlo Maka nasna taba ka taba re ne ke tshwere lwa nkutlo. Nasna taba ka taba go ke a bala e be ne ke a phasa go sekolong. Nasna taba ka taba go gae ke teng. Ne ke sa le curfew. The way ne ke tla ke le go ntlong ka teng. I didn't even have a curfew. Because it was expected or I get Karabo okay ka 7. Ha ke ka montle nna ke mo jarateng ke shebana le Popeye dog. Ka matrix sentse ne ke busy ke shebana le Popeye. That's me. Oh dog, patty mayonnaise. Oh dog, patty mayonnaise. In matric. Cause ne ke sa le busy ka ntse bokete for bana as a child. I was just such a good kid. And the evidence of it manifests later on in life. Essentially, I reaped what I sowed. I sowed to education and I sowed to responsibility and discipline and reaped a successful career. Even though the rug was pulled from underneath my feet by me having to drop out of varsity thanks to my mom not paying my fees, I nonetheless took myself back to school. Ka ipatalla di fees tsa ka nna tsa ko vitsi tsa part-time ka nne ntse ke drive after mosebetsi go le botlhoko go le siere mara still I did it. I worked and the fruit was born mara batho ba ithuta boloya akere. By tuta boloi ka dripiwa mara nna zang ka dripwa nna le ganyane tle kopa re-explaining situation and ke feelang ka re we need to redefine it ga ka loyo nna ga ke loyege ke mzalwane modimo o mpiditse a re Karabo etla mo lifeng follow me take up your cross latla yonke nto and follow me ka mo latella morao modimo batho ang phatsotlego jaaka a guarantee le hore if anybody wants to live a life in me lo sotlega ke mo ke sotlegile ho botlhoko ke heart seer 24 hours a day ga gona phomolo it appears mara a ke part and parcel le bo zalwane bo jaaka ga ke filwe eternal life judgment e thoma ka minaisa. Judgment begins with the Church of Jesus Christ. So this here, long suffering, pain, destitution, orphan spirit, they call it part and parcel of the call, hey? Count the cost of being a disciple. Let's go bugang and naki utle botlhoko ga kana and then imagine gore ke loilwe ga ka loywa nna ke job. Modimo o mphantwe e ke kupileng grandship eventually. Ko ba le bana ba bantle go phala ba bang kaofela mo strateng because I'm Job. Banyana ba ka ba bantsweng buka ofela no daughters in the land will compare to ba ga Job. That's what is given to mzalwane that has endured successfully trauma, suffering, persecution in godliness. Wa rewardwa. The Lord rewards long suffering, patience, delayed gratification. And just like Joseph, lanse ona le trauma, PTSD enwe ya mhlaba cause ba go gwazile in the back ba bo abuti ba hao. Modimo wa khona go cause gore o lebale digwazoms. The Lord prospers to cause you to forget the pain of your father's household and gives you a son by the name of Manasseh for those reasons. He gives you a wife and children and says, you are gonna be better because PTSD ain't jack in the kingdom of heaven. All of these psychologists with their post-traumatic stress disorder diagnoses, we will not, undiscover that as a true story. Bottom line is, you're not PTSD at half time, it's 180 degrees. It's not the full 360. It's not the full story. Bottom line is, it's the trauma or the sorrow in the soul of a person that has been dealt a bad blow by repeated offenses on their bodies. But God knows how to completely heal a person from even that. Back to a state of tranquility and peace that never thought that they could overcome the pain of their father's household. Joseph had PTSD. That's what psychologists call it. God just calls it trauma. We post post-betrayal syndrome. The Lord calls it after Joseph's brothers have happened. I happen. After Joseph's brothers have happened. And then happen again. God calls PTSD after Joseph's brothers. I am. Before Joseph's brothers. I am. Before Abraham was. I am. Before Joseph got thrown into slavery and stabbed in the back. I am. So Joseph is going to forget the pain of his father's household. So yeah, I will admit, I got PTSD because before Abraham was, Jesus is. And so here it is that as an Abraham, I'm chilling in a lot of sorrow, but Christ is. He was and is to come. And so therefore, that which is my PTSD, it'll fall because whatever it is that he is God, I get all omniscient. o tlo mfa something e tlo nkgozang gore ke lebale ditweba tse di busy di parelking letsang. Hey, what are you doing? And bona ukuthi ngukuhuki Karabo. Why le etsang ka re ha le nkgopole? Why are you acting like I wasn't the one on dutse go still ko sekolong? Ke blomile ke sa banke. Ke sa anwe on the school playground. Why le acting ka re nna gale nje grade ke dropa bolo? Why? Ba itebatsa ke re bana le temporary memory loss, bana le amnesia, D1s. Trying to act as if dokudala mina ngiso akhe. No. Hunale something batho ba itshepileng guys in isne. There is something that my family is trusting in, and that's why ke loyo ga botlhoko ga kana. Ke tumpa ke ditlhare utlwelang ne. I'm Mzalwani me. I'm Mzalwani lankutla. I'm Mzalwani. Ke tla bua le ka twang. I'm Mzalwani. Ake loyege mina. Ake loyege lankutla. Ake loyege a ke tawe nna ke satani. Nna ke tawa fela ke Holy Spirit. So kopa le skatlong borang na tlong lawyer. Ke be ke tsentse nna le batho ke di etseng na ha ke Kelly Kumalo. Ke itse Morena Jesu fela. Ha ke mixi ka my ancestors di dlosi. Badimo ba lona ha ke ba utlwisisi. Ke utlwisisa God fela. Leave me alone in tlogileng. Ha di sa batle le tlo bona di flames a kere. Gale le dwetso mona mo strateng ho mela utlwa di flames. Lokopantsho le di drag le di cul-de-sac. Lokopantsho le di yield sign le di robots. The way lokopantsho le di strata ka teng ha modimo a di busy ka lona o le trapa. Ke Mzalwani ha ke loyege nang kutlwa. Ma jika ha di busy ha kana. Ko le bontsha di flames. Ko ntse ka tweng le segwale se pedi se tswana tso di kopane le o itse ke longtlogela batho. Thapelo modimo e etle wa e respecta wa e tlhompha wa e rata. It's a fragrance up his nostrils. Wa re rata modimo tle. O re rata ka lerato le kotsi because on our behalf all le ravaza lo lotlhe le kopanelang kutla all le thuba ka ditlhogo all le kopantsha ditlhogo ke tlhoka lo kopana le skontiri. Lo kopana le skontiri. Lo kopana le skontiri. Strata, cul-de-sac, yield sign le roboto. Le pedestrian crossing ka fa lo kopana le yona. Because la tella so tshwantse le kopantshe ka mabota le di trata. Lo kopana le di trata. Di cul-de-sac le di U-turn. Lo kopana le tsona. Hobane le tella ha botho ka hampe mona mo strateng tshwantse le lo kopana le skontiri. Ha le tlo tella ha kana tle. Le tseba gore ke mang mo life mara ha le na taba. That's the thing. The world of people that reward that which is evil will always positively reinforce wickedness at the peril of the righteous, but we are a people of a different status. We are a people of a different status. We're not very different. We're different even in Belangrik. Because if it wasn't for Rena, gospel will never ever proliferated. Manto aruna atabile jaka di penguins ako happy feet. Because we proliferate lenzo la Marina Jesu. Marajaka had a critical disrespect hakana. Had a clumpy mutu. Everybody mom katweni mona or up for grabs because of Luna. Lito to longa anything eli batang. Engwilengwin to la inka fela Luna. Le bogi le agiri. Litigenza nightmare. Let's Susa Luna. Marana hagila tabikitaba Jason. Lo iti di flames ilo di bona millo. Yo tuka tuki. Jaka hamilla ito tuka kodi helenya one day. Waiting lo bonto millo. Le kopadi le staranta le skontiri. Because ke bona nkare unless le kopana ka skontiri le meno alena haloba rights. Hi Vanilla Rata who staged the intervention for people that have not deserved a staged intervention. Mudimo only stage la intervention he. Le kaibona intervention ya somandla. Ya ntata wa manete because walo na montate ke wa mjibula. Ntata walo na kimtata wa mjibula because hard to be Jesus Christ. Holo rewarda. Mwana oling righty. Abalo punisha mwana oling wrongo. Janka haba swadi balloon abanku khete hurin nakisutleke. Lebeling ravaz and millennial. Lingu ravasa lidi Gen Z. Lingu ravasa lidi Gen X. Lili banyane kulibakana. Lingu ravasa. London to the rava langutva. Long ravasa li reva garali gushesha go strutting. Man to something the color hanger is that mudimo ofika jananga spisa paraffin and all the bonta grand shapahuri. How the wrong. And a jacka hauna le conscience in my thing. Conscience yakwe we ignorang. O we shapanka tabula mafu. Conscience we shapalang mzimba. Cause when I write a ignore. Mudimo e bansa di flames. Lati ignore the conscience. Bonta te balona libo meba balona kibo meba mutibulo. Bonta te libo meba balona kibo meba fake ba Hong Kong. Bako China ba reki wang ba rasa. Ba reki wang ba lima chining. Bom meba balona ba fake kibo mutibulo. Because kimo ba busy ba ignora. Casey yang wana ko kay. Onsali busy mo atung pa kiri kazi sa tuleng tsiling. Litulet tsiling. Bom meba tengi. Haba shaban litlo kholo tsan sa busy tuba mata kono ko skolong. Di shaban le Karabo nang le foot. 40 girlfriend. ba busy na ba batla go cause gore ke be motho wa go accept gore intervention e stage itse konna nele nna bathong wa go ba innocent. I was always yena the girl wa go phasa go sekolong jaanong wa le stage ya intervention ke na le 30 king ka lena king. The situation kwa gae it's crazy. It's crazy. Their parents ke ba like I said nka batswadi ba mtubolo a se ba mannete ba tlo bona ntate wa mannete ro etsang ha motswadi a tsaya sa itela ngwana leng wrong another dead on that day ga se mtubolo ga fiki ga se Hong Kong ha tso China ga re kwa arasa batswadi ba bona ba mtubolo ba sa etsang the right thing le bona self jaaka ga bana le batswadi ba mtubolo le bona in and of themselves ke ba mtubolo ke ba fiki they are pretending mo starting gore ba right le modimo ba tshwana ba straight and narrow ke Karabo wena o tswileng tseleng o tswafa ba re nna ke a eba bathong ke leileta bathong ga thwe nna ke boatla guys nna ke a tswafa he banna ba anare la itse hore e tsaya e bo mahwate ho ira YouTube content di ura sama yo la wetsekeng le la piso fela ke go blama mo pela computer la ntlhaloganya computer ya ko mmerekong le la pile ke yona ha le khona go blama mo pela computer ya ko mmerekong go basic and yet mina ke boatla. I was watching this woman on TikTok like 2 days ago talking to women, right? Yeah, talking about how it is that wait ba sa di lituletseng mo lifeng. Monna ke mo wa go nyala o na le 23 o gona 24 o monyane ba go ntsha ko ntlong ya mme wa hao. And you don't even have to work. A lot of women in these streets tshwantse ba lo sebetsa, tshwantse ba lo etsa zaga because gunzima out there, right? When amara unkiwa straight out of your mother's house and put in a beautiful house by a man. And this dude, upon putting you in a beautiful house, then says, okay, ibam sadiche, and you don't gotta do anything. And then, how katamo obo dula fela blom? You then just gather dust. Gulendlu yako. You don't decorate, you don't do anything. How is it gardening, making sure unalama bloma yana mo gardening obo atla? How is it next to make sure kitchen ya gago ke batla go fitla ko kitchening ke lo sheba difatuku tsa hao ana re di tlhatsu tsena how sheba container ya serobos ya letswai e brown why container ya serobos ya le brown ha o check up pantry gona these things tsa mahura mafura a teng ga wa phumuli mo containing cause wena o botlapa o boatla motho a teng o tshaba lo kopa metsi ko ntlong ya teng o tshaba le go kopa galase ya metsi because how tse bo ro tla ba go floata eng mo godimo. How can I know spiritual reason behind my pen? King spiritual reason behind my fellow controlling minisa. Arete, Kakuna spiritual reason behind my fellow. Reason behind my fellow. I know what a spiritual he go to he boata he bu spiritual ubuat. Let's wafa basite. Balifama to lo pela over monati monifing. Banna batting about the chocomins. Maramutin Santa go jarating. Editila, gardening is one. Kusnak a little mole day. Go gardening. Go sena le lo mo ke re le teng go gardening ha gona nne ke se e tsang sense ha go bonagale gore mo gona le mosadi di oil stains tsa go frya mai ko pela le botala ko kitchening sense le da after 5 days ifitilo yo yotlhe ke boatla spiritual reason behind my pele is not that motho o go loile ke gore o boatla wa tswafa. I kept on being like, hallelujah, preach, sister girl, alright. Labo taking sometimes why I shine, but you see, that's just the thing. The world is upside down. Aba taking vele, aba buatla like that, hibo aba chata yo. Abo guy, aba bolile. They are getting some of the best women. Men who are lazy, don't want to work, don't want to pull, like lift a single finger. Ba busy ba tlhokometsekedi ride or die girlfriends. Buatla. What is the spiritual reason behind ukuziyekela nje ulophonzwa mo strateng nka wena o tsholotswe jaka dustbin ya pick it up untse o filwe everything we dingang mo lefatsheng ke boatla ke laziness and y'all are trying to make me look like the kind of woman that does not make sure that I got plants in my garden. What the kitchen is brown, what the fatuku is brown ko kitchening nna ke boatla ka tsa mo botsa mme wa ka if at all nna ga ke ka go tlhatsa dijana go na le kitchen go na le fatuku ke re A1 e nosi e brown tsama botsa if nna ga ke kata go tsamaya ko stofong if gona le huranyana mo pela ke mo le boteng pela frying pan or pela stove tsama botsa if nna di eggshells tsa mina tsa dia blow manja fela mo kitchen counter reng gore do tloswa ke motho mong tsama botsa if ga ke kata go etsa mae a teng le cheese ya teng ke grater if at all ke ja while I'm eating gona le sejana ke re le say one. That's the way that I am, do you understand? Not only do I prepare food, but I make sure that before I even sit down to eat, I say one more sinking. It's the reason why mewaka ang prefer in terms of sitting around Mojara thinking ke busy ke dula le yena for the rest of my days because I'm the one daughter that does not leave ke relate kitchen A1, not kitchen ba bitsang ntwe na man fatuku A1, eling purple or brown or pink or orange, just depending on the food coloring for the day. I'm the one person. Okasi sing sigarelese jana say one. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mozinking after Nakesha. I'm the one person. Okasi tlogeleng in fela seretse sa footprint on the kitchen floor. Ha ke kata ho walk up and down. Insofar as ke se bone seretse sa teng ko se phumula la ntse ke le uncomfortable because I just washed my hands and moisturized. Ke batla go tshwara fatuku vievie. Ke nya ke batla go tshwara skoropo vievie. Mara go se tshwara because anara go tlogelang seretse mo fatshe. Ke in a domesticated capacity, and when I was working in corporate South Africa, nekele jwalo. So lena ba sa itseng go edit a YouTube video. Kupanje fela lo botsa any content creator mo strapeng sena. Go and ask any content creator on the left and on the right, all across these streets. Jaka khale underestimate our content creation. The only reason you underestimate it is because it's a fun job. You know that saying, do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Humana content creator because it is your own work. Do you understand? You are doing what you love. Mara leska the content creators don't do it because they work harder even than some people in corporate. Do you have any idea what it takes to do a refined video on YouTube? A full one from beginning to end. First and foremost, record a raw footage in. And then if you are really pedantic, if you're not one of those people that just enjoy if at all you're going to be quitting your 9-to-5 job to be doing YouTube videos, chances are you invest in editing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you do the raw video that you record in your vehicle. Then you gotta refine it. You gotta put it through video editing software. If at all your software, your video editing does not have silence detection, you have to run it through silence detecting software so that you can remove silences. You must listen to it from start to finish to see if at all it's okay. If you're adding captions, you must make sure that they're accurate. You then have to go into the what do you call this? The color, the this, the that. If you want to add makeup, etc. And then only you export. Depending on how busy your video is, it could literally take you hours to edit a 10-minute video. A 10-minute video. A 10-minute video. Content creators are some of the most hardworking people that I know. Especially the ones that go out of their way to do really high quality content, like people who do skits, for instance, like skits. Like people like within Christendom, people like Melissa Doherty, people like Obina Edimoju, people like again Chris. Like it takes a lot. Just because it's fun and people enjoy doing it so much that it feels like it's not a job at all. And it's not boring and mundane rote like a 9-to-5 job. Does not mean like when I'm 70. When I was working at MTN, I did not work this hard. At MTN, I didn't. I promise you. I could afford to chill at coffee shop for 15-20 minutes just gathering dust. Slap bang in the middle of 2 meetings. That's not something you can afford to do. With content creation, for the first time in my eyes, I've got dark circles under my eyes every so often because of not being able to sleep, because of something that needs to be exported, something I need to do, something I need to cut, something I need to splice, etc. You cannot even go and watch these women on TikTok that do content creation videos that makeup. The most. That do makeup videos. Like, what do you call this? Like makeup art. Like the ones who not just do a makeup tutorial or like a talking head video, but they do like a dance thing and they're singing and they have to synchronize the music with the singing, and when they turn, they have to be a different shade of makeup applied. Guys, the editing involved in content creation is ridiculous. And in order to edit that 1-minute TikTok, that 1-minute short, where it is that you are waka and you've got one look and you've got one batch of makeup on the one side, it can take you an entire day. Go and ask any videographer, anybody in the entertainment industry just how much work is actually involved in what you call a fun job. And I learned video editing and content creation because of being put in squalor. I've been put in a severity of sorrow, and I had to teach myself all of these things. I had to find the best software, given that I am poor, I am broke, I had to go and find free versions of stuff that I needed to do, and it's been hard, because instead of running my content through one video, one editor, I have to run it through multiple, because I'm literally gunning for free software. Like most video editors do not remove silences without you paying a premium. I had to go and find a silence detection software that does not, whose watermark I can always remove, and then only move it over to CapCut. Before I used CapCut, I used to be on Filmora, which is a paid plan. and it has an ugly little watermark slap bang in the center. I had to find a video editor that had all those things that I needed that is not going to give me this grief, and it took me a minute to finally find CapCut, and once I finally found it, I had to then teach myself that interface. Y'all need to understand, this here is not easy. One short, I've got these shorts sitting out that I uploaded that are going absolutely nowhere online, where I was using filters and all different kinds of things and adding sound effects and multiple voices and what have you. It would take me a good 40 minutes to do one 45-second short. A 45-second short taking me 40 minutes. Now, the copious or the voluminous amounts of video content that I have online that are going nowhere, multiply that by those 45 minutes. The volumes of work that I produce. Uploading is something that you just click upload and you wait for it to upload. But the process before then is hefty. Go and ask any content creator. So to come to me and say that and for 10 years I've been doing nothing. My CV is rough to look at, guys, because I look as if for 10 years, but the amount of skills that I have gained in this time are through the roof, astronomical. It is not just the talking head videos that I do. The research, the fact that I have to watch lots of videos to then consolidate my viewpoint on what's going on in the world right now in this one space. It's just that I am unpaid for what it is that I do. I tried to monetize to no avail. This here is a travesty. Kodwa apparently mina ngibuwatla. Apparently nna ke a tswafa. Hore batho ba re nna ke a tswafa ba ka tla ba tloetsa mosebetsi ko etsang ka letsatsi and see if they don't pass out before ba fetsa ke re video A1. I literally challenge you to walk a mile in my shoes, especially considering my work is unrewarded. Ngisebenzela God. That's the only reason I work so heartily as unto the Lord. I am not working for men, but for God. That's why I keep pushing. But anybody would have given up long ago to work so hard to do umsebenzi omningi kangaka, only for them to go nowhere, and then on top of that to be called by people gathering dust in corporate 9-to-5 jobs at desk, to be called by them lazy, especially considering labantu abakubiza lazy bayagazi bawutsiba rawutswafe. There's no way. Mara, reviling. Mara, the lies about libitso la gago, yo, man, how they spread in these streets like a rumor mill. They are spreada fela nkare ke botoro mo borotong. They are spreada. Ba re wa tswafa na re kenye kana that looks lazy ka nna. Ke na le evidence ya gore ke tswafe nna ke boatla, mara apparently nna ke motho wa difatuku tse brown. Ke motho wa go zabe ke le rosenyana e1 mo gardening. Ke motho wa go botsa gore ana re keng spiritual significance behind my pele. Ke boatla. Nna ke motho wa go accommodate le pele go jarateng ya nice. Go kitchening je fela ga le matha across from one side of the kitchen to the next because it thinks that it's doing a relay marathon. Ke motho nje fela wa go ba agitated ka taba gore e teng da, but not actually do anything in my power to eradicate even the presence of one roach. Significance ya maphele ke eng ke boatla. It is not spiritual. I've got evidence for days. Mara batho ba sa respecting, ba sa tlhompeng creative work, ba sa tlhompeng mosebetsi wa art. Batlo rona ra tswafa re penta Picasso ka feletseng over 5 days. Abatlo re wa tswafa cause when you don't collect a job from sitting behind a desk in front of a laptop, go cooperating, twirling on a chair, getting a monthly salary. They call entrepreneurs lazy all the time until they break through. I bet every content creator on the internet has at some point been called lazy and irresponsible by their family members for quitting their jobs to do YouTube full time until it was so lucrative and it paid off that now finally se le respecta ngwana batho. I implore you to come and bloom, make like a flower in front of me and watch umsebenzi ngoyenza every single day, what it takes, how many hours it takes, and then continue to call me lazy. Mpitseng lazy. Tswelang pele ntse le rena ke boatla. When my mom herself can vouch for the fact that I'm the one daughter. Okay, dulang dena antsa a gcina le ko lekasing because ga tlo dila le kitchening je fela maswe editshile. Nna ga ke fitile. Ha ke tswa kitchening go school, that's me. And that whole kitchen situation, that's not the only one. In everything I do, I dot my I's and I cross my T's. Kodwa mina, apparently ke boatla. That level of disrespect is exactly the thing that has caused my cousins ukuthi bangithakathe thinking they can tether me kamsebenzi ona kusabatlela ubatla in the first place. Ke a forcediwa wa nkutla. Jwanong ke batla go gutlela teng go corporate in whatever capacity. I cannot taba just in so far as ke na le 9 to 5 mara ha ke batla sebeletsa motho wa ko heso. I ke batle anyone in my family to have access to be privy to even a single employee in the organization where I work. I don't want them knowing them. I am sick and tired of this sabotage, this backstabbing, this backbiting. I am weary of my family members treating me like I ain't Jack. Ke batla go tswa ka mo le ka montle batho ba nkopanele nna for the first time and make their own decisions about me. I don't care to work for boss or etlong borang via jaka bagale. Mara ha etlo motho ko heso. Ha go ra bazwana. If a boss wants to underestimate my work, or if a boss wants to deliberately sabotage the appearance of my prosperity, it's her prerogative. The bosses are all over South Africa. They are littered all over these streets. Mara, it has to be some stranger oxen only someone last week. It has to be a stranger, and it can translate ke kopa ha bane o tlo nkhutlisa morago ko di bossing tse borang se tlo underestimating the potency of my social media content, or to act as if though to want a career of sorts in creative work is the work of laziness. Ha bane ke tlo dira le batho ba senang tlhompho for how much effort it takes go etsa ke video e one ya ko YouTube. It's okay, really strange. Mara go dira le batho ba ntse ba nkresha for I'm hardworking, mara they busy staging interventions for me. Ba busy na ba mpitsa lazy. But busy when they're in a position to pull in a favor for me. They think they're in a position to basically dictate what a guy and no further. That unreasonable, guys. Witchcraft causes people to be crazy unreasonable. Ridiculously unreasonable. It makes people essentially write people off that have not had it coming, and then the world rewards them for wickedness, and that's what makes them think they can continue in this behavior. But I serve a God who rewards righteousness and condemns or punishes wickedness. And he is the creator of all things. Nothing that's ever been created has ever been created apart from him. He is the maker of the atom that is the foundation of all matter that was described in the book of Ezekiel. I serve the God who can restore Joseph to joy, even though he had a severity of post-traumatic stress from betrayal and backstabbing. I serve a God that can recover a person that looked irrecoverable. But that God is into long-suffering, patience, endurance. He's into causing you to chill. And in that time, underestimation. Anyhow, it was dying on me again. I need to get to the point. Look, I serve a God, okay? I serve a mighty God who insists upon righteousness, who will not leave any sin unpunished, who will not leave any stone unturned. He dots his I's and he crosses his T's, and he has a massive bone to pick with those who pride themselves in the fact that they've been rewarded by ill-gotten gain. Something's wrong, y'all, okay? Something is extremely wrong, and I've been praying, and all that my prayers have achieved so far is basically delaying me having to end up working somewhere that I just don't want to work, okay? The longer they delay, it's just the better. Because there is a gun to my head to do things that I don't want to do. But like, herein lies the deal. Like, you know those horrible bosses? I don't want. If I don't, I'm going to endure a horrible boss. Because they come, alright? Humility is key right now. There is a whole strategy against the body of Christ to wreak havoc in our lives, in making our lives as miserable as possible where it is that we find ourselves. But I'm not going to be miserated by family, not in the workplace. Like, let it stay at home. And the thing that is most especially patronizing to me is the youth. Like, by youth, I mean my age group. Yes, I'm not that young, but Baholo have ignored the travesty of my case. And my cousins have just made like Doja Cat and gone to town. Yo, man, how they have just gone to town, yo. They've just gone to town. With the fact that there is no discretion at all in these streets on the part of their parents. Like, the moment a parent favors the wrong kid above the right one for no other reason than the fact that it's just a choice they made, Hebatung, discipline out the window. That family is done for. There's going to be calamity as a result of disregarding that which is right and rewarding that which is wrong. When kids are not disciplined for doing wrong, they just end up wacky adults. Can you see what I'm saying? And Goyesu, the elderly, ignored the indiscretion of my cousins at my peril, because apparently I was just one number and worth a while to ignore. The world hates disciples. As a result of their indiscretion, the dreams that I keep on getting with my the cousins guys, the way bang loyang kateng yar, and the buloy bateng is it's so disrespectful. It is so disrespectful. And then the thing that also pains me the most about the thing that pains me the most about their combined insanity is that it then invites into my camp the biggest and most gargantuan, voluminous, as in singing like a canary the way it's so mellifluous, bane of my existence. hana ntho e ke tlhoileng ho phala banna ba tshirianeng ba filang nkare ba ka nka engwe le engwe ntho mo strateng e ba ka enkang ba fostang ba nang lenkane ba sankeng no for an answer hana ntho e ke tlhoileng ho phala monna tshirianeng. And the indiscretion of basadi ba ko heso le banna ditwebanyana tsa di millennial tsa di Gen X late and also Gen Z ha se ke ho ntumpisa ka banna ba tshirianeng ba ke sa ba batle ne ba ba gatileng teng e ba nnyontsha wa nkutlo a ke ba batle. I loathe the perversity that is encircling me, and every time my family acts in this crazy capacity with a noose around my neck to make sure that I go this far and no further. Wait again, ne. One thing. Langa kraya 9 to 5, ne? Which I'm begging the Lord for, frankly. Karabela, karapipipi, elea haisal, tapelo elea mbokot, karabela day and night. Horki kram miracle. Marakele katalokanya this one thing. La hangau kram miracle, which I trust God will provide. Avail. It will always be the side hustle. Yo kupale talokanya hor. Kibitsi morene. I've been called by God. Kinali main mission. And the musabiti wa gospel. The main thing. My creative work is now my main thing. There was a time when writing for Christ was a hobby. It was a side job right next to my main thing. Marahanga gram miracle 9 to 5 thing. That's gonna be the side hustle. I'm essentially applying for a side hustle. Kibata side hustle. And the reason why kibita side hustle is because I'm not even pedantic anymore. Kaore weta lang dako side hustling. Hagizanada. Hureke project manager, program manager, product manager. Hureke nale qualifications se kai hureke bereka administration oreke boss o akisas bana ndabane corporate. Y'all need to understand kitsule moyana corporate the day in khwile nkare ke se gotlele kitsule go corporate modimo o intshitse out of me ke sa ba lankutlo ke kubetswe mosebetsing for no other reason than taba hore ke ngwana morena Jesu and batho ha bana taba ka rona batho ba re tella telli ba tshepile hore lefatshe le rewarda wickedness lankutlo. And so because they prided themselves on getting away with broad daylight murder, having a smoking gun over the cadaver, and yet evidence yakona ya ignorwa, ever since corporate did that to me angaze ngirikave nyazwa ha ke soka ke tshepa ever again ha ke soka ke sheba corporate the same way again. There was a time when ke company rules that thing ke le grand ke plomile like I was swinging on a hammock. It was so extreme with me being in corporate that I used to call myself a suit. Any other job I was like I'm that girl. I was made for corporate. I was always going to be Tolbanji wearing, like Makusha wearing, wearing, and twanging, proper standing with a posture and not piercing my ears too much type chick. I was always going to be that girl. There's a reason why I didn't go crazy when I was a kid with piercing my face. Because some 9 to 5. Where it is that I would be basically, by being this thing, I would be stymied by randos with corporate wardrobe telling me stuff. So I did not pierce my nose. I didn't pierce my ears, even though I used to think it was really cool. I had this designer friend on the come up. This chick that was doing fashion design. She had like these multiple piercings. And the way I didn't mbuka teng batho me ke di galla ke batla le nna lo phunya ditsebe mara ke tseba hore nna ko so ko officing ba tlompha mathata. I knew even from varsity hore it doesn't matter how much you might crave piercings, don't do them because you are a suit Karabo. O tlo ntse o tlo twela mo stulong wa nkutla o tlo gola at the corporate ladder jaaka bana ba bang wa para kwae le kusha for the rest of your life. I was content. I was a suit, a happy suit. These people that lament about, I want to do art. But corporate is, it is what it is. They feel stymied by corporate. Business right, guys, I was never going to leave. Literally, you know why I loved corporate? I told you guys that when in that story that I told you about my cousin, boyfriending, even though she wasn't there, I was watching Ally McBeal, y'all. And from the time I was a child, I have always just seen myself in that kind of setting. I looked up to it.